Welcome, everybody. I want to thank you for joining us this day for information about the 5-day cleanse. So I'm going to be teaching as well as Debbie and Maureen, and my name is Amy. So if you have questions, there are some people who are joining us live, and I've said, hey, put your questions over in your chat. And if you have questions, wherever you're watching this from, just put it in the comments, because we'll obviously be watching the comments and making sure we are serving you well. So before we start talking about the 5-day cleanse and all the things, I want to just say that when you join us live, you get this free script book mini, which goes over all the classes. It's like, because when we teach in these classes, there's just a lot of information coming at you all. And so this helps with great takeaways. And so if you're new on this, this call today, which I know one of my friends down in Texas is, I'm going to be sending this to her in the next couple of days. So with that, I want to talk about the 5-day cleanse. Okay, so the 5-day cleanse, I'm gonna, sorry, it's gonna be boring for just a second. The 5-day cleanse are these products, consist of these products, the Ningxia Red, Balance Complete, and then these supplements right here, all right? Let me say this, 5 years ago, this summer, so summer of 2017, a bunch of my friends that have Young Living accounts said that they wanted to start doing this cleanse. They wanted to try this cleanse, and they're like, hey, you know what? Hashtag better together. So they're like, we're going to do this cleanse together. We're going to start it on this day, and we're going to just in our Facebook group, we're going to just tag each other and just encourage each other, because anytime you make a changes, be it you want to start exercising more, you want to drink more water, you want to read more, you want to do this or that, we all know accountability is a huge thing. I personally think that's one of the reasons Weight Watchers is so successful, because they do have that level of accountability with their meetings and such. So I don't ever want to be left out. So when my friends and my teammates were like, they're going to do this 5-day cleanse, I was like, doing a cleanse was never on my radar. I was like, I'm good. I don't need a cleanse. Hashtag whatever. But I thought I want to do this. Plus I'm like, well, I'm not opposed to it. Plus I had never tried the Balance Complete protein shake up to that point. I'd been, had a Young Living account for about 2 years at that point. And I just, with all the products that we have between the oils and the supplements, I just had not been able to give this a go yet. So that, well, I'll get a chance to give this a go. So order my cleanse, get it in, all excited. I started, and day one, I was like, this is, be honest with you, I wasn't happy because I was hungry, and all I could think about was ice cream. But it's fine. You know what? There's, in addition to doing 3 protein shakes a day, those are your 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then I always call the drinking the Ningxia Red afterwards dessert, because it is dessert. You can have snacks. And you know what? When you sign up to get your bundle through us, we also have a guide for you as well. So the fruit or the snacks are really pretty easy. They're apples and almonds. I mean, it's not like ginger root that you have to, get from the Appalachian Mountains or something like that. Like, what? I mean, they're like legit things that you are already eating. So the snacks help. I snacked all the snacks I could do that day. I snacked. The next day, I again was thinking about ice cream all day. And I kept thinking, like, I got to distract myself. I'm like, I'll go for a drive. I'm like, I'll go for a drive and get a milkshake. And then I started realizing how much I think about ice cream. And it may not be ice cream for you. It may be potato chips. It may be XYZ. But I'm just sharing, because people are like, I don't crave ice cream. I'm like, that's great. I'm glad you don't crave ice cream. But what do you crave? I talked a lot yesterday. My throat's all parched. But by day 3, I was like, I could breathe easier. I didn't need to use my nasal steroid. I was like, what? And I started feeling better internally. I noticed with my joints started feeling better. And by day 4, I was like, I wasn't craving the ice cream. I wasn't craving the sugar, and I wasn't snacking as much. from day 1 to day 4, I wasn't snacking as much. And day 4, I was like, I need to get serious about day 6 because day 5 was great. And then, but what am I going to be making those changes afterwards? So that was, I'm just sharing you I remember that first cleanse so well, because there was just a lot of unexpected fruit I had from that particular cleanse. But it's not so much about me. It's like, what part of that story could you relate? We're told by, I think it's Hippocrates, or so one of those Greek teachers from 1.5 million years ago. All disease begins in the gut. There's, we get our gut clean, we keep it clean, we keep it healthy, we get it healthier, we get it cleaner. We're going to notice that in other areas of our body. That's why whenever you hear us talk about skin and skincare, we will talk about gut health. And when we talk about, or when I talk about respiratory or nasal, because of my testimony, in 2017, I had been on nasal steroids for almost a decade. Once I started getting my gut intentionally cleaned up with the 5-day cleanse, was really the catalyst for that. I've not been on nasal steroids ever since. And so to me, that is a huge testament to just keeping, trying to keep your gut healthy. Now, you may be thinking, well, okay, we cannot treat, diagnose, nor cure. We are not medical experts. We're just sharing our testimony. So like I said, I noticed that I felt better in my joints once I was cleaning my health up. I am not saying that will work for you, but I'm just saying, what is it that's going on in your body that could be positively affected by looking at your gut and getting it cleaned up. And so that is one of the posture I've been sharing with my teammates over the last couple of days. It's like, are you wanting to breathe easier? Are you wanting to have a reset? Are you wanting to kick your sugar cravings? Then this cleanse may be for you. And one of the things I like about this cleanse is not only does it give your digestive system a rest and reset, it also starts helping if you do the work to sit there and really think about like what you're wanting to do post cleanse or how you're feeling during the cleanse. Like I shared with you, by day 3, I could tell I was breathing better just after 3 days. And so it's like, what benefits could it have for you other than just cleansing or resting and resetting your digestive system? So with that, we always talk about Ningxia Red. We probably don't talk about Balance Complete enough. And I know we for sure do not talk about these supplements enough. But these supplements are, in my opinion, what's really key with this, because that portion of the cleanse, it's about digesting and cleansing. So it's about getting, enzymes for digesting, and a supplement, Comfort Tone, for getting it out of your body. I don't know how else to say that. But with that, Debbie is going to teach, or share, I should say, a little bit more about that. Of course, she's so sweet and amazing, and you've got to listen to what she says because she is so knowledgeable. But I'm like, hey, Debbie, can you talk about the digest and cleanse aspect of the cleanse? And she goes, sure, because she's that awesome. So Debbie, if you would unmute yourself, and then you can start sharing with us. Thank you. Debbie, we can't hear you. Can you unmute?
There we go. Sorry, the screen wouldn't come up for me to unmute.
No worries. We all understand.
Sorry about that. Thank you so much, Amy, for your knowledge and information you shared with us about the 5-day cleanse. I will start by saying a little testimony for me. I also remember my first 5-day cleanse vividly, and I think it was because you don't know what to expect, and when it does, the changes happen, you're like, whoa, and the next time you're ready for those changes, and so they're not as dramatic that second or third or fourth time you do it. But my first time I did it, yeah, same thing. I was so hungry on day 1. I was just like, I'm not going to make this. I can't do it. this is only day one. I know there's only 5 days, but I can't do it. Just know that's normal. And day one, you're going to want to give up, but don't, because it does get better. It gets a lot better. And same way, by day 4, I was like, I wasn't eating the snacks. I was like, I'm good. I don't understand what this is all about. By day 6, I actually started my day out with my Balance Complete, because it was good and I loved it. And I was like, and I didn't plan it. It was just, I got up and I made it because it sounded good. So just know that this cleanse will reset your body on the way you think and feel about food, which is a positive. Most of us Americans have food issues. So, I'm talking about the Essentialzymes or Detoxzyme, and as the enzymes for your system. And enzymes are a definite need of our bodies for breaking down food. And so that's why you will take your Detoxzyme or your Essentialzyme, your enzyme, and your Comfort Tone before 30 to 60 minutes before you eat your eat your shake, your Balance Complete. So by doing that, what that does is it sets the enzymes, lets them start breaking down from the tablet form and start getting into your system, so that it can then break down the nutrients that are in your Balance Complete, so that your body can use those nutrients most effectively for the energy that you're going to need for the day. And the enzymes are just, we all need enzymes. Our Young Living enzymes are also have some of our oils in them. The essential oils that are in the enzymes help your body absorb those enzymes as much as up to 40% more than enzymes that don't have the essential oils in them. So that's just information of why the Young Living enzymes are beneficial to your body. The Comfort Tone is what is used to get once it's broke down in your stomach, then it goes through your intestines and through your small intestines, where your body absorbs more of the nutrients, and where your Essentialzymes is also, it's used in your stomach, but it's also used in your small intestines. So that's where you get a dual effect on your Essentialzymes. Then the Comfort Tone works in your large intestines. And so it will help break down, and your large intestines have kind of a squeezing effect to them. So they kind of work work through your intestines that way and push it through. And that's what the Comfort Tone does. Because of our diets and what we eat, our intestines don't always work correctly, and they become paralyzed. So you lose that motion that you need to push the excess waste through. So that's what Comfort Tone does. It makes sure that your intestines are working properly, that they're working well, and that they excrete all the waste that's in your large intestines. It is not just so, a lot of us are like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be in the bathroom all day. No, you're not. You're not. And it's fairly normal when and in all fairness, I heard this not too long ago, and I was like, wow, never thought about it that way. If you're eating 3 meals a day, you should be pooping 3 times a day, because whatever you're eating should be working through your system that way. And most of us don't think of it that way. And so that's what the Comfort Tone is going to help you do. You're eating 3 times a day, you're probably going to poop 3 times a day, but it won't be a run to the bathroom, experience. It'll just be when you go. So just know that it's not anything scary you need to be worried about. I mean, I've done colonoscopies where you have to do those things. It's nothing like that. Nothing like that. Those are no fun. So it's just a very gentle, very thing. But what it does, the enzymes and the Comfort Tone do, are help clean out your system so that your body absorbs the correct nutrients properly. And that is the biggest thing that our bodies need, and what this helps us do. The Balance Complete that Amy talked about is then gives us a lot of the nutrients that we need. And I'm going to hand it over just here in a second about Ningxia and the love of Ningxia that we all have. That is kind of like Amy called it the dessert of the cleanse. And it is. It's got a lot more properties than just a dessert, but it is a yummy, yummy drink, antioxidant drink. So I am going to turn it over to Maureen, who is full of knowledge about the Ningxia Red, and will share how yummy it is with us. Thanks.
Thank you, Debbie. I am so impressed. Oh my word. I mean, that was a full gamut, from how you feel, when you start the cleanse, and just that sort of motivation and encouragement. And then the details of the enzymes. That's really, really nice. So I'm going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that's the Ningxia Red, which is our antioxidant beverage, which I believe that Amy, Debbie, and I all consume every day, which in itself, Ningxia Red, it does aid digestion. So, I'm going to touch on this just for a moment. About 3 or 4 years ago, who lost a year? I don't know what year. It was in actually 2017 as well, that there was a Ningxia Red challenge, which is why I like these challenges too. Amy said it got her thinking about, wow, maybe I don't want to be left out. Maybe I'll do this cleanse. I was starting to drink Ningxia Red, and I wasn't doing it every morning. I'd run out the house. I'd forget, they actually have the large bottle that Amy showed a moment ago, but they also have these small packets, which are 2 ounces, which is great. You throw in your purse if you're on the go. So anyway, I started drinking Ningxia Red every day. I think it's really has to do with, those habits, those like one small habit every day leads to a bigger result. The Ningxia Red is aids digestion, and there's many other things about it. It's for eye health. It's for body energy. It aids you to sleeping better at night. The amount of dense nutrients and fruit and vegetables in it is pretty amazing. And so it was just a daily thing in terms of Ningxia Red. So I'm a huge fan of Ningxia Red. I actually drank mine about 40 minutes ago, and I added a Vitality blend to it called Longevity, which is for another day. But anyway, but the one thing I noticed is just even by the longevity was that my gut feels better. So talking about the cleanse, yes, the Balance Complete is, it's great for breakfast in general because it's just such a quick way. I think the one thing I thought about in terms of the encouragement and motivation was that that Debbie was talking about, and Amy as well, as far as, you can, each day is a little different, but, it's hard when you're feeding others, when you're preparing meals for others. So whether it's children or husband, I'm in the restaurant business. I'm around food all day long. I'm around food all day long. And it was kind of tough because I'm part of the job is tasting food and so forth, but you're just around it all day. So what I'm saying to you is I understand it's like there's going to be some challenges about the food because again, you have a family or whatever that looks like, and they're not everybody's on the cleanse. Your 5-year-old's not on the cleanse. So you are preparing food. So that's in general, as far as, making those changes perhaps in your diet, which for me, and this is years of this, I call it my live it lifestyle. I don't say die it, I say live it, because, this is your daily intake of food. But my impressions in terms of the cleanse, I felt lighter. Just, when your gut starts getting healthier, you feel good from the inside out. And this was just a lot to do with my lifestyle with Young Living. And, at some point, there's just less because of gut health, there's less brain fog, there's more, you have more energy. Again, you feel lighter. That's sort of not just a physical, but it becomes a mental thing too. The craving thing is huge in terms of kicking out cravings. It can be done. I don't like Amy and maybe Debbie touched on it, but like Amy said, there's like, what is it? What is that? What is your guilty pleasure? What is that thing that you just like crave? That maybe is not the healthiest for you. Those cravings can change because of those changes you're making during the cleanse. As far as dropping weight, probably you'll drop a little weight. Mine was like 5 pounds. I thought Amy said one time it was 7 pounds for her. But 5 pounds is a lot. Detoxing, by detoxing and kicking out certain things in your live it lifestyle, that I call it, weight can drop pretty easily without some of those things. It wasn't like I was, it wasn't like I drank, one of those big sodas are like 60 ounces. Some people drink two of those a day. I don't know who does it, but apparently people do. They cut that out and all once they dropped, 10 pounds in a month. Well, of course, that's really obvious, but whatever those cravings look like, but that's very helpful. It just kind of readjusts your way of thinking about food. Yeah, it is amazing how much we think about food, because it's part, that's how we live. But emotions, like you get some kind of stress coming at you, once you're thinking food, what do I eat? Maybe that's not for you, but you're nervous about something, you're worried about something. It kind of relates to food. So this cleanse, it just gives you a great reset. I think that's how I view it. It's just a great reset. And I wrote a couple other notes. I think what Debbie said about, it's not like you're gonna, run to the bathroom. It's like, it is gentle. So that's just a good thing to know. A friend of mine, was concerned about going on it, and especially with her at work, and she stated that it wasn't that big a deal in terms of that, if that is a concern. I liked what Debbie said about the absorption rates. Our supplements at Young Living, yes, the oil infused supplements increases the absorption rate. We know that the health industry, hashtag supplements and all that, it's like $1 billion a year industry. So people are interested. There is no doubt. But can you imagine just taking supplements after supplements and them not really getting in your system or doing all the good they possibly could? And that's what attracted me to Young Living as well, is the oil infused supplements, because they actually get in your system. So I know I took it off track a little bit, and I tend to. That's who I am. Amy says, "No, you didn't, Reen. Thank you." But you know what it is? What is the end result of the 5-day cleanse? And if it's merely just giving your body's digestive system a bit of a rest, so to speak, and a reset, great. So anyway, that's what I have today.
Awesome. Thanks, Maureen. Appreciate your sharing for sure. And I like how she said she got off track, or I didn't think so, because I think it all relates back to what Debbie and I were sharing, especially about the fact that our Young Living supplements are oil infused. And so it does help with the absorption rates. And so where I know sometimes people be like, well, your supplements, may seem to be a little bit more, but I'm thinking, well, if you're actually getting more out of if the absorption rate of each capsule or pill is actually greater than what you're getting from your store-bought, then actually, no, they're not more expensive. So no, I think that was right on track. So again, our posture in coming out here and talking about the cleanse, many many things to that. Obviously, we care about you, and that's why we've been reaching out to people about this. But we also know that accountability is huge, because I appreciate what Debbie was saying, how like your first time going through the cleanse can be more memorable than future ones you do, and you can do this cleanse 4 times a year. So that's usually what we try to do with we have oily groups. So once you open up your Young Living account using our referral links, you get added to our Facebook groups, and we usually do a cleanse together as a team, usually 2 to 3 times a year, because day one can be like a little challenging, and you can go out there and comment, and we're encouraging each other, and we can say, hey, this is what I'm doing, like a pro tip. And I believe I did put this in the link that you'll be getting regarding the bundle and the guide for this cleanse, is to order a box of nitro, because whereas caffeine and tea and coffee are not allowed on this cleanse, nitro is allowed. You can do 2 of those nitro tubes. So if you are like me and drink caffeine every day, something you might want to do in preparation, we start the cleanse together on the 21st. So maybe the week before, you start decreasing the amount of caffeine you're having each day, or get yourself a box of nitro. I always make sure I have nitro in hand, because you can do 2 of those a day. And it's our nitro, and I don't have a little tube of it. I apologize. Nitro is it is a natural caffeine, and so it is definitely. I do nitro a lot of mornings when I wake up, and because as I heal from a brain injury, sometimes my brain needs just a little extra TLC with getting alert, and I will do a nitro, and it for sure helps. A little side note. So if you need some, anyway, I'm going to stay focused. You're welcome. At any rate, there will be a link for you to get the bundle and to get the guide. And then obviously, once you do sign up with us, we will also make sure you get added to our oily groups. And the goal is to get your order in for this cleanse by next Saturday, the 12th. I wouldn't order it much later than that, just for delivery times, because obviously we know it can take a couple extra days for delivery in the times right now. So the goal is to start on May 21st, this cleanse. We usually do our challenges, our monthly challenges, which this month the challenge is the cleanse. We usually do it the middle of the month. However, March 13th is daylight savings time. It changes. I said to Debbie and Maureen, I said, there's no way we can do a cleanse starting on the 14th, because inevitably people will talk about how it takes a couple days for our bodies to readjust to just an hour change. So like, we're not doing it the 14th. We got to set ourselves up for success. We're going to start it on the 21st. And so March 21st is the day that we are starting this cleanse. And so, like I said, you'll want to make sure you get your order in no later than the 12th. But the link that I've included in this live class, as well as what you'll see, this link wherever you're watching this video, it will get you a link to the bundle and to the guide. I do want to point out that, I so appreciate, Debbie takes it up a notch when you talking about digest and cleanse. She talked about enzymes as a whole. Young Living has 4 or 5 different kinds of enzymes, okay? And the one that you will see in the guide is actually called Detoxzyme, okay? This one is currently not available. The reason I never get upset when Young Living has a product out of stock, because our products are all natural. We don't chemically make them. They're not, I can't think of the word. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, we use all natural products. And so we don't just mass market our products. And so sometimes it takes a minute for items to come back in stock. So you're like, well, wait a minute, what do I use? Bada boom, Essential Zymes. And I will make that distinction. I will update the guide but just in case you're watching this before I update the guide, Essential Zymes, they do a little bit different because obviously they're two different products, but for our purposes for this cleanse, even using, if you're like, gosh, Amy, I already have Essential Zymes 4, or I already have Allerzyme, use that. That is totally fine. But I personally use Detoxzyme on this cleanse, but any of those other enzymes from Young Living that I mentioned are completely fine as well. So what you're going to want to order is the Ningxia Red, the Balance Complete, Comfort Tone to get things moving out, and Essential Zyme. And with that, as always, if you have questions, please let us know. So thank you so much.